Hello everyone and welcome to my CBS Soaps official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Wednesday, October 29, 2025. Today on Days of Our Lives, Jada gets ready for her Halloween date, Theo tells Abe about JJ, and Stephanie prepares for her big book launch. Kayla, Steve, and Abe meet for lunch, but things sour when Roman wanders over to congratulate Abe on Theo's new job. Abe launches into Theo making a mistake and Paulina pushing him towards it, then leaves. Roman helps himself to Abe's seat, then makes things awkward again when he brings up the bookstore reopening and book launch. Steve's uncomfortable as all hell with the topic, even after Roman leaves. Because they then turn to Stephanie and Jeremy since they all think he outed her, and both parents admit they aren't sure what happened between them years ago, but it was bad. Theo meets JJ in the square to get the news that JJ's nope, never mind. Abe interrupts them, so Theo sends JJ off and tells his dad about the blackout incident and his and JJ's talk. Abe acknowledges he handled things well enough, but gets upset when Theo admits he talked to Paulina about it, but not his dad. So Abe handles it with grace and rushes off to his tutoring appointment. Julie shows Jeremy to the reopened bookstore, which doesn't look super different from the before, but sure. Then Stephanie walks in, while Julie obliviously welcomes her. Jeremy sees himself out in a hurry, which finally clues Julie in that there's something wrong. Even if she didn't know what he did, why would she just assume everything's great between two exes? That's pretty much what Stephanie says. They didn't end things on good terms, but then Abe shows up looking for his mentee. That's Stephanie's cue to leave, and Liam shows up late to introduce himself. If you missed who's playing him, it's a name you're familiar with. Abe lays down ground rules to a mildly disinterested Liam about showing up on time and making an effort, then gets to work. But Liam doesn't want to make an effort and tells Abe he doesn't vibe with the book they're reading. Paulina meets Jada in her office to talk about how quiet Halloween is for now. Paulina predicts people are still on edge after the blackout because the town is full of utter hooligans, clearly. But Jada's got it covered, even though she'll be off tonight on a blind date. Before she can say who it's with, JJ pops in to say he's staying a cop. That answers that. Jeremy wheels out a massive pumpkin launcher for his students in the square. Just as JJ gets back, neither seem to be able to escape their pasts. Stephanie is setting up her book poster in the square when Kayla and Steve up. Steve is thrilled the new book is a mystery and Kayla's happy it's fiction. Stephanie laughs, then glares over at Jeremy and JJ with her parents turning around to join her. Steph goes home to change just before Julie comes out to chat up Steve and Kayla. She's so excited about this big reveal, that gets super awkward as they tell Julie it's all her cousin's fault. Paulina finds Theo outside the pub where he gives her a heads up about Abe's latest annoyance. The two of them talking about JJ before Abe knew. She assures her stepson that her marriage will be just fine, which is a surefire sign of trouble. When Paulina asks how the new job is going, Theo mentions Tony's disappearance. But it all worked out in the end, or did it? He thanks Paulina for the encouragement. Liam wants to leave, but Abe threatens to call the DA if he does. So he sits back down, clearly annoyed, and gets back to work. Stephanie finds Jeremy in the hallway when she gets home. She demands to know what he's doing there, then is horrified when Jada walks out to meet her date. They connected on a dating app. Steph gets a call and the two are gone before she can return. Wednesday, October 29, 2025. Days of Our Lives extended episode. Today on Days of Our Lives, Salem is haunted not by ghosts or goblins but by the past, and everyone's skeletons are ready to come tumbling out. As Halloween approaches, tension simmers under the surface. Jada prepares for her mysterious Halloween date, Theo opens up to Abe about JJ, and Stephanie nervously anticipates her big book launch. But in true Salem fashion, nothing goes smoothly, and the night may reveal more tricks than treats. At the Brady pub, Kayla, Steve, and Abe gather for a late lunch, a rare calm moment for three old friends who have survived decades of turmoil. The air feels different though heavy with the kind of unspoken truths that hang over Salem like fog after a storm. Kayla tries to lighten the mood, talking about Stephanie's upcoming book launch. Steve smiles, proud but wary. She's always been a force of nature, he says softly, tracing the rim of his coffee mug. But the past has a funny way of creeping up when you least expect it. Before Kayla can respond, Roman wanders over from behind the counter, grinning ear to ear. Abe heard the news about Theo's new position. Congratulations, my friend. Abe's smile falters almost instantly. His hands tighten around his napkin. Congratulate him for what? For making a decision without thinking it through? He snaps, startling both Kayla and Steve. That boy being pushed and not in the right direction. Roman blinks, caught off guard. I didn't mean. But Abe's frustration pours out. Paulina's got her hand in everything, Roman. She thinks every move Theo makes has to be approved by her. I love my wife, but she doesn't know when to step back. The tension around the table is suffocating. Abe abruptly stands, muttering something about getting some air, and storms out, leaving Steve and Kayla exchanging uneasy looks. Roman awkwardly slides into Abe's now empty seat. Maybe I should have just sent him a text, Roman jokes weakly. But even he can't lighten the mood when he starts rambling about the bookstore reopening and Stephanie's launch party. Steve groans under his breath. The mention of the bookstore makes him visibly tense, and when Roman finally excuses himself, Kayla notices the look in her husband's eyes. You're thinking about Stephanie and Jeremy again, aren't you? She asks gently. Steve sighs. Yeah, I keep wondering what really happened between them all those years ago. I know she told us bits and pieces, but the look on her face back then, it wasn't just heartbreak. It was something worse. Kayla nods slowly, her voice trembling with concern. I'm not sure she's ever fully healed. Meanwhile, in Horton Square, Theo meets JJ for coffee. The fall air is crisp, and decorations for the Halloween festival line the walkways, carved pumpkins, faux spider webs, and the faint laughter of kids trying on costumes. But the conversation between the two young men is anything but light. JJ's trying to tell Theo something important, a secret he's been carrying since the blackout, but before he can, Abe strides into the square. His timing, as usual, couldn't be worse. JJ hesitates, sensing the tension, and quickly excuses himself. Theo sighs as his father approaches. Dad, I was just... Abe cuts him off. You were about to tell me something you should have told me days ago. I heard about that blackout incident. You handled it fine, but you didn't think to come to me. Theo fidgets. I did talk to someone, Paulina. She listens differently. Abe exhales sharply, disappointment clouding his face. But then he catches himself, remembering the delicate balance he's been trying to rebuild with his son. You did what you thought was right, he finally says. But next time, talk to me, not your stepmother, your father. Theo nods quietly. Abe's expression softens and he claps a hand on his son's shoulder. Now, I've got a tutoring session to get to. Try not to give your old man any more gray hairs, all right? Julie is practically glowing as she walks Jeremy through the newly reopened Salem book nook. The shelves gleam with polish, the scent of new books mingling with cinnamon from the cafe corner. It's like coming home again, Julie beams, running a hand along the shelves. Can you believe how far we've come since the fire? Jeremy, ever the charmer, nods politely but glances nervously at the door. He's clearly uncomfortable. Then the bell over the door jingles and Stephanie walks in. Her confidence fades the instant she sees him. The color drains from her face. Julie, blissfully unaware, starts gushing. Stephanie, look who's here. Isn't this a happy coincidence? Jeremy stammers something about needing to check on a delivery and practically bolts. Julie's smile fades into confusion. Well, that was odd. Stephanie's voice is low, steady, but her eyes glint with pain. We didn't end things on good terms, Julie. Maybe next time warn me before throwing me into a reunion with the man who broke my heart. Julie's taken aback, guilt flashing in her eyes. But before she can apologize, Abe appears again, this time looking for his student Liam, who's late as usual. Stephanie uses the moment as an escape, muttering a polite goodbye before slipping out. Moments later, Liam finally arrives, 20 minutes late, wearing headphones and a look of supreme disinterest. Abe crosses his arms. You know, showing up on time is the first step to success, he says sharply. Liam shrugs, guess I'm not big on steps. Abe fixes him with that classic Carver glare. You don't have to like me, son, but you're going to respect the opportunity you've been given, so take out the book and let's start. Liam rolls his eyes, flipping open a dog-eared copy. I just don't vibe with this one. Abe mutters under his breath, welcome to the real world. Across town, Paulina sits in her office, drumming her fingers against her desk. Halloween decorations surround her, orange lights, fake cobwebs, and a giant bowl of candy. Yet she's frowning. Jada enters, dressed impeccably as always, though there's a hint of excitement in her eyes. Paulina smirks. Someone got a date tonight, don't they? Jada laughs, adjusting her jacket. It's just a blind date, no big deal. Oh honey, everything's a big deal when love's involved, Paulina teases. Then her tone shifts. It's been quiet tonight, too quiet. Ever since that blackout, this town been on edge. I tell you, Salem's crawling with hooligans waiting for the next excuse to cause trouble. Jada reassures her, we've got extra patrols. I'll make sure everything stays calm, at least until I clock out. Before Paulina can press her for details, JJ knocks and steps in. Sorry to interrupt, just wanted you both to know I'm staying on the force. Jada grins, surprised, really? JJ nods, yeah, I thought about leaving after the blackout, but this town needs people who give a damn, and I do. Paulina beams, that's the spirit. Salem in good hands with you too. Back in Horton Square, Jeremy has decided to kick off his class's Halloween science demonstration, a massive pumpkin launcher. The contraption looks like something out of a cartoon, pipes, levers, and enough tension to make anyone nervous. JJ happens to walk by just as Jeremy is loading the first pumpkin. JJ squints, you sure that thing's safe? Jeremy smirks, define safe. Before JJ can respond, the launcher fires, the pumpkin flies across the square and explodes against the side of a newsstand, showering everyone in pulp. The crowd gasps, Jeremy just shrugs. Science is messy. JJ shakes his head, muttering, and apparently so is your life. Later that evening, Stephanie sets up her book launch display in the square. Posters of her new mystery novel, Silent Shadows, line the stage. Steve and Kayla arrive to support her, proud smiles lighting up their faces. Steve picks up a copy. A mystery, huh? You always did love keeping people guessing. Kayla laughs, and thank goodness it's fiction this time. I've had enough real-life drama for one lifetime. Stephanie smiles, but her eyes drift to where Jeremy and JJ are talking nearby. Her face hardens. Kayla and Steve notice and turn to see what's caught her attention. Their expressions mirror hers. The family tension is palpable. Salem's night air grows colder. Julie soon joins them, giddy with anticipation for the big reveal. Oh, isn't this exciting? Another Johnson making headlines for all the right reasons, she gushes. Steve and Kayla exchange awkward glances. Steve mutters, if only it were that simple. Julie, ever the optimist, doesn't notice the undercurrent of dread. Outside the pub, Paulina catches up with Theo, who looks troubled. What's the matter, sweetheart? Theo sighs, Dad's mad again. I told him about the blackout, but he's upset that I talked to you first. Paulina waves her hand dismissively. Oh, your father loves to fuss, he'll get over it. Our marriage has survived worse, believe me. She smiles, but there's a flicker of uncertainty in her eyes, a flicker that doesn't go unnoticed. Salem marriages rarely survive secrets for long. When she asks how work's going, Theo hesitates before saying, well, Tony disappeared for a bit, scared everyone half to death, but he turned up, everything's fine. Paulina arches a brow, you sound unconvinced. Theo chuckles nervously, let's just say things in Salem are never fine for long. Night falls, Stephanie returns home, still buzzing from the launch and exhausted. But when she walks down the hallway, she stops dead in her tracks. Jeremy is standing outside her apartment door. Her eyes narrow, what are you doing here? Jeremy's voice is low, almost pleading. I just wanted to talk, to explain. Explain, she spits, after everything you did. Before he can answer, the door beside hers opens, and out steps Jada, dressed for her date. Stephanie, Jada blinks, realizing the tension. Stephanie looks from Jada to Jeremy, confusion dawning. Wait, Jada, he's your date. Jeremy freezes, you're Jada. It's the kind of moment Salem lives for, the intersection of love, lies, and complete chaos. Stephanie's phone rings, breaking the tension. She steps aside to answer, and when she turns back, both Jada and Jeremy are gone, vanished into the Halloween night. Somewhere in the distance, a church bell tolls, and the wind carries a whisper that in Salem, every secret eventually comes to light. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and don't miss any updates.